Behind every face and every action, there's a name. And the search for those names, well, that's where these stories begin. I'm Fox 4 senior reporter Caitlin Knapp, and I'm on a mission to get to know the names we know and perhaps find the ones we don't, along with detectives working in the same communities you call home. We're all working to find answers and closure in these sunshine crimes. Our first story is a woman who's only known as the York Island Jane Doe. Now, York Island is a part of St. James City. Jane was found dead there almost 30 years ago. All that time, Lee County detectives have never stopped trying to answer these two questions. Who is she and who killed her? Pine Island, a small fishing town where you can almost always find anglers on the water. But one day, 4 fishermen hooked the beginnings of a gruesome mystery.
October 7th, 1995.
That's the day Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino says right off of York Island in St. James City, the anglers pulled up to a red sleeping bag.
Inside was a body. It was decomposed.
A sinister discovery with not much for detectives to go on.
Jane Doe, 35 to 45 years old, 115 pounds approximately, with brown blonde hair.
Just like today, the medical examiner did an autopsy. Marcino says because she had been in the water for 3 or 4 weeks, they could not tell how she died, only that someone killed her. But he says one thing stood out.
In the skull, there were staples. It was a very unique surgery that was performed. Only 1,000 doctors worldwide would be able to do that surgery.
And to this day, detectives are still trying to figure out where she had the surgery. They're also digging for other potential clues.
Looking for DNA, looking for dental records, looking for any lead that we have. So it's piecing things back and looking for that one detail, that one break in the case.
And all of that evidence sits here at the Lee County Sheriff's Office Forensic Center. And they gave me exclusive access inside, showing me the evidence that they have to work with to identify the Jane Doe.
But our detectives are in the detailed minutiae every single day.
Yes.
Detectives like Sergeant Robert Patton of LCSO's homicide unit.
A lot of people haven't seen this.
This, the red sleeping bag she was found in. Evidence the sheriff's office is using to hopefully solve the case. Evidence you are seeing for the first time.
The barnacles that were found were probably 20 to 28 days in nature.
Evidence that gets even more disturbing.
This is the battery that the rope was attached to the sleeping bag holding her down.
Sheriff Marcino says it's a common 63-pound battery.
Generally, a 3-volt battery is what you use for a golf cart.
Or possibly for a sailboat. In this case, detectives say it was used to weigh Jane Doe down in the water. How do you think she got there? We just truly don't know.
We don't know.
And there are more mysteries.
This is what she was found wearing at the time.
Maroon scrubs from the Charleston, South Carolina VA hospital. But LCSO says there was no one there who knew Jane Doe.
So we don't know if it's something that was picked up at a thrift store or secondhand.
Jane Doe was also wearing this ring and a broken watch, frozen in time. September 25th at 12:50. As time passed, Marcino says detectives are relying on new technology to help identify her. They came up with these sketches in 2019, and in 2021, they say a new DNA profile for genealogy testing tied Jane Doe to some potential distant family members in Orangeburg, South Carolina. That's about a 90-minute drive north of the VA hospital.
So recently, we sent DNA out to the lab again, and we're hoping that it comes back with some kind of direction, some kind of hit to give us another clue in this case.
The help can also come from you. Marcino realizes Jane Doe was found so long ago, but he's optimistic.
Someone knows something.
An optimism that echoes inside the department and in the minds of the detectives who hope to bring some closure to the York Island Jane Doe.
Every single day, they work it like 1 second ago for closure.
She's a person. Was somebody's family member. And we're not going to stop until we find out what happened and answer all those questions of who she is and how did she come about in that location and ultimately her demise.
With any cold case, detectives retire, memories fade, and witnesses pass away. But like we've seen before, it doesn't mean the crime can't be solved. If you know anything about the York Island Jane Doe, you're asked to call the Lee County Sheriff's Office.